listen, these guys just find a way. They find a different way. It feels like every game. Every game's different. Every win's different. This has been just an incredibly entertaining playoff run. You sit down for every game, and for whatever reason, I'm feeling more and more comfortable each game. The one thing I loved about that game is just how it progressed, and that's just the experience of a veteran group of Oilers. We talked about their playoff experience. They've been there. The majority of these guys have been through this. They were through it last year. The amount of playoff experience on this team, and it showed in the third period. You got a 2-1 game. You know, this time, I think last game, a lot of it was turnovers, a lot of it sloppy play. This time, Dallas is just playing well. They were playing really good hockey. They were generating chances. I thought the Oilers were still doing a good job defending, but the chances were there. Stu was awesome again. But I look at this third period. You've got a 2-1 lead going into the third period, and they took it to Dallas. They smartly took it to Dallas. They weren't being crazy, but every time they had a chance, they would move up and they'd pressure when they had numbers, and they had more scoring chances than Dallas did. And it reminds me of the year Colorado won the Cup in Game 6 of the Cup final. They had, I believe, a 2-1 lead. And what did they do? What's the best way to score? Their team can't score if you're playing in their end. And Edmonton did that while not giving up anything the other way. So they just smartly put the puck in the other end. They had chances to score. They didn't, but they continually played in the other end. And it just looked like a veteran group, that is ready to continue to win. And they do it in every way possible. So again, you know, like you said, not to shit on the East too much, but I mean, when you go from that series to this series, and really any series compared to the Oilers games this entire playoffs, it's been a roller coaster in the best way.
We've all got eyes, dude, so we can see the difference between this one and the next one. I like you mentioned there, it's the Oilers' veteran experienced squad. There's always the argument, right? You got to learn how to lose before you can learn how to win. I'd argue the Edmonton Oilers have done their fair share of losing, and it's the fact that they can win games in so many different ways. Like I said, run and gun, possession style, or a 2-1 hockey game for much of that game there, and I cannot say enough incredible things about Stuart Skinner in this game. Dubes, the last time we had talked before today's pregame, and we're mentioning, okay, it's either here for Stuart Skinner, a perfect game, or a sub 830 save percentage, and I never want to nitpick. I'm never going to bitch about getting 3 shutouts in 4 games, but you did want to find that middle ground, and we saw that in Game 3, and we saw it, I think, even more so in this one. The start of that hockey game, the Dallas Stars shot out of a cannon. We talked about the Oilers, one of your keys to victory, starting fast, putting your foot to the neck of the Stars, getting in Jake Ottinger's kitchen. We also talked about staying out of the box, and the Oilers decided to go down a man 4 minutes into that hockey game, but the Stars, they had the shot chart going 16-10 in that first period, but Stuart Skinner was huge in that first period and the game in general as a whole. Here he stopped 28 of 29 for a .966 save percentage. Dubes, give me a report card on Stuart Skinner in this hockey game tonight, because he was damn good.
Yeah, he's just looking more and more confident every single game, and it's the timing right now, the timing of his saves. You know, he just seems to be coming. He looks confident and strong when Dallas is pressing, and you're just not getting that feeling anymore, like they're going to score when they're pressing. He's there. He's on top of it. When the puck, the thing that I'm watching, and just his confidence with finding the puck, with tracking the puck, is even the shots that don't get to the net, if they're missing it wide, they're hitting bodies, you can tell that he's finding it. Shots that go wide, he knows exactly where it's coming off of the boards. He's ready to push into it. If they're hitting shin pads, he's finding them right away. He's holding on to rebounds if Dallas does have extended time. He's hanging on to them, and he's looking better and better. And now he's going from a time where we just wanted him to get comfortable and look confident and just play a solid game. Now he's doing that, but now he's taking over games, and he's being an X factor for Edmonton, because he's been the better goalie. You know, you look at this series, you're obviously goaltending advantage Dallas, right? Wrong. Goaltending is advantage Edmonton right now because of the way Stuart Skinner's playing, and it's at all the right times. He didn't have to do much in the third period, but what happens? The start of the game. Listen, the game's different if Dallas scores first. Now, I'm not saying that the Oilers can't win, but it's a different hockey game, and he's ready to go right at puck drop. He calms the storm that Dallas was throwing at the Oilers, stops everything, and allows the Oilers to get a power play, great execution by Hopkins and Draisaitl. And then the others settle in a little bit. And I mean, they got the power play goal, but before that, he made like 5-10 bellers to keep it out. And they just couldn't get it clear. But he's just stopping it. He's stopping them at all the right times. And then they get the 2-1 lead and they never look back. And I think they're able to play confident. Like you look at that third period and how they're able to go the other way, and they're able to pressure. And both in all three zones, they're able to pressure. Why? Because they feel comfortable with Skinner back there. They know he's back there. They don't have to sit in a 5-man hole and play like Latvia against Canada at the Olympics. They can go play hockey because they're good, because they know they got Skinner back there.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Skinner was huge on the penalty kill for the Oilers tonight. Managed to kill off 3 of the 4 penalties that they took. Dude, just want to get your thoughts on, the penalty kill and also the power play, because it was absolutely huge for the Oilers tonight, 2 for 3.
All 3 goals that were scored on a goalie came on a power play for either team.
Yeah, and it was great. Again, we stay out of the box. They didn't really do it, but I have to say that the penalty kill is starting to look better. They're starting to look a little more confident. I can see what they're doing. I've talked previously about chasing down the wall. They're just trying to keep him to the outside, and I like it better now. The forward's not getting sucked all the way into the corner. I still don't love it because I feel like they don't retreat back to their spots quick enough. They do. They're trying to keep it to the outside. You see them big swing to the middle, and they're trying to force them down the board. So I understand that. They're doing a better job. Before they were getting sucked all the way down to the corner, and it was coming up. They're not doing that. That forward seems to be stopping around the half wall now, which is better. I'd like to see them punch back to their spots a little quicker, because that's kind of the only time they're getting in trouble there. And then, the goal ends up happening because they get stuck in their end, and that's going to happen sometimes on a PK. There's crazy scrambles around Skinner. He's making incredible saves. Sometimes it's hard to get clears in that situation because everyone's just doing everything they can to keep the puck out of the net. So Dallas is a good power play. You're not going to rip them apart for that one. They just got stuck in their end, and Jason Robertson made a great shot. So onto the power play. I mean, this is the Oilers power play we're used to seeing, right? All these different looks and all the goals, they look different. They got players in different positions. I mean, let's talk about the Draisaitl goal for a second. Like watching the replay. First of all, who like Nugent-Hopkins is between the hash marks with nobody touching him. And you watch this play and you're like, dude, what are you doing? Like, look at the spot to shoot it from. And he dishes to below the faceoff dot, almost on the boards. And the replay from the net cam of this shot is absolutely outrageous. I think 29 is the only guy who can put this puck in the net. Andre got a good push over. I don't know how, but look at the fact, this is how good Draisaitl is, that Nugent-Hopkins has a puck in the slot with one stick on him. You don't get much better places to shoot from that. He doesn't even consider shooting. He never puts the puck into a shooting position. He just waits for Draisaitl to pivot, load up, bang. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And then again, you get the other looks. I mean, look, he's almost on the boards. And Andre gets over. It was just incredible to watch that replay. And then again, the other looks, like you got McDavid's roaming around everywhere. This is the power play that we're used to seeing, where you just don't know what you're going to get. And man, it's fun to watch. It's back to feeling like, especially at home, as soon as the other team gets a power play or gets a penalty, now it's back to like, okay, here we go. Probably one in the back of the net.
This whole bar starts going, looking over at the free special surprises that Greta tends to pour, and we get a little bit ready, see what's going to be coming down the docket. But I laugh at that goal there, the dry one. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins goes from the most prime scoring spot on the entire ice, as you mentioned, with one stick kind of on him, and he says, nah, fuck it, I'm going to go send it over the boards, which is not a prime scoring spot on the ice. But when you're Leon Draisaitl and you make a career, we call that his office. Dude, I mean, I get why he passed that puck over, and then you look at the end result and you go, Nuge, you made a beautiful play. And then, I mean, Pat, you can play the other one here as well, because I don't even know which one I like more. The patience that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins showed on the Corey Perry goal, where I could have scored that goal in front of the net. I mean, let's call a spade here. Nuge slicing and dicing. He's just been fantastic for this Oilers team in whatever situation you need him to do it. Puck goes down low here, and then patience, little Toey puts it right on the platter of Corey Perry. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Doobie, I texted you during the game, and I said, quote, I don't know if I can love anything or anyone more than I do Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, the golden boy of this city. He was back there with you back in your old playing days. And Dubs, before we get into his talk on the ice, you did tease before we went live here. You had a Ryan Nugent-Hopkins story maybe you want to share?
I did. I don't know if I'm going to share it. That was behind closed doors. I don't get Nugent.
You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to.
It's nothing bad.
For me.
I'm not going to share the Nuge story. It wouldn't get Nuge in trouble. It might get the rest of us in trouble. But
there you go.
Nothing too bad. Just some fun times in Jasper when we were up there. But no, Nuge, you know what? Again, he does everything. And you know what I love about that power play goal too is at the start. Remember I talked to you guys about Bush moving around, being mobile because he is mobile. And I was finding sometimes he was getting he was static on the blue line. Watch Bouchard here. He moves back here. Boom. Cuts back to the top. Fake shot. Moves over. Like he's mobile. He's moving around. And then what does that do? It opens up the Dallas defense over to McDavid down to Nuge. And the patience in Nuge, he toes this. Watch him just wait for Heiskanen to lift up here. So Heiskanen goes down. I mean, the patience to not just fire this through. The second he pops the stick up, or that's not Heiskanen, that's Cece. Look at the stick down. The second it pops up, boom, right through. And you're right. You could have scored that goal because Corey Perry didn't even know what was happening. Look, he looks like he's got to go reach for it. It hits him so perfectly in the stick. It goes in. I mean, it's so fun to watch these guys play.
It's almost like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has practiced that move on Cody Ceci twice in the past, eh? Because the timing of it like you said to me, it was perfect.
Yeah, it's like a video game glitch. He just goes down and then waits for the glitch to kick in and right underneath. Down, right. I mean, it's just, you can watch this stuff over and over. It's incredible.
That's hockey porn right there. The Edmonton Oilers power play. You mentioned guys who are exciting to watch. We talked about it a lot. Me, Zach, and Pat down here tonight at Greta Bar Yeg, and it's in limited ice time. But Vasily Podkolzin and Victor Arvidsson, the dog per 60 on that line that they had rolling together at points, man, they are pests on the forecheck. We know what Vasily Podkolzin's game is. He'll line up and hit anything that is in front of him. He gets in the scrums. He also got a penalty for roughing in this hockey game, which I thought was soft baby back bullshit, but I mean, you could have assumed that I would say that. But even Arvidsson, man, for a guy who's been an NHL veteran, a very, very good NHL veteran, a top 6 player, a first power play kind of guy, when you join a team like the Edmonton Oilers, you are here to win. And he's kind of had to pay that price of being the odd man out. Well, remember, last 2 games of the Vegas series, Kasperi Kapanen comes in for RV. It wasn't necessarily like RV was playing bad. I honestly thought him, Pods, and Janmark were a really good trio on the fourth line. But that's just the way it goes in the NHL playoff. He comes back in this game today, and while he doesn't have any points and maybe his stat line doesn't look the greatest, I thought him and Podkolzin together just dogs. There is no other word for it than dogs. And I'm spelling that D-A-W-G-S because they are dogs out there. What can you say about Podkolzin, RV, those guys on the forecheck?
Yeah, that's really it, right? You watch them every time, you know they're going to hit, especially Pods. He's going to hit. He's going to finish with a hit no matter what. And that is annoying. Like, that's the whole pest thing. That's annoying for the other team because, first of all, they actually are big hits. Like, they're not, some guys will go in and they'll go for a big hit and maybe miss and bang their stick on the glass so it sounds loud. And he's hitting these guys for real. And it's good contact. So every single time he's on the ice, every single time, not most of the time, every single time that puck goes in, he's coming in 100 miles an hour, whacking, running through the guy, puck moves over, he's back to the other guy, finishing his check every single time. If you don't think that gets annoying in a playoff series, you haven't stood back there and heard footsteps of Podkolzin running at you every single time the puck comes in. And it is frustrating, and it forces defensemen into mistakes. Even if they're not mistakes, maybe it forces them into plays that they don't want to make that aren't really crisp. Maybe they're not going to turn into any offense because they're just trying to get the puck up the wall. Whatever it is, when you can provide that consistently as a fourth liner, as a third liner, it is wearing on the other team. And the other thing too with these guys is their ability, guys are bought in to the team when they can be put in any different parts of the lineup, like whether scoring or not scoring, and they're going to chip in and contribute however they're expected to. And if that's for Arvidsson, like if that's running guys or just energy, whatever it is, they're going to do whatever. And that's the entire roster. That's up and down. They're going to come in and provide what they're asked to provide in that role, on that night, on that shift, during that period, whatever it is. Everybody is going to play their role, and they're going to play it 100%. And you've seen it up and down the lineup, and that's why the outcomes are what they are for Edmonton right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Pod Colson leading the way for the Oilers tonight with 8 hits. Kasperi Kapanen had 7 of his own. Victor Arvidsson, he only got credit for 2 hits, but it felt like he laid a couple more
hits. It's because he's little and maybe it didn't feel like a hit, but he tried to.
He tried to. And you know what? We'll give him credit for that. You know, we can talk about all of the good things here tonight, you know, with the win and all of these positives, but boy, that Zach Hyman injury in the first period. Not feeling great right now. Chris Knoblaw, no updates. You know, some reports that he was down by the room, giving some hugs and stuff like that after the game. How do you see things kind of shifting in this forward group for the Oilers, you know, after this injury moving forward? You know, obviously they got to kind of blend up the lines here, but they're going to have to figure out some roster decisions here moving forward.
They are, yeah. And, you know, not a small piece to lose there. And looks like his shoulder. He looks pretty shoulder or hand the way he drops the stick. But, he looks, again, doesn't seem like that much of a play. But just the way he skates off and he's letting his arm hang like that seems like something he's done before, knows the feeling of it. And, it doesn't look good. So, you know, this is a scenario where you hope that the Oilers can get it done in 5 and don't have to play too many games without him, because there's really no replacing him. There's just not. He provides everything. His hit train that he was on was completely insane, but he's scoring. I don't need to tell you what Zach Hyman does. He's an irreplaceable player. So it sucks to see. Hopefully, you know, we know he's out for the game. I'm sure he's going to be out for a few games. But hopefully they get some good news back and they get a little time to heal him, because, you know, they're obviously going to need him for the long run. But again, it gives guys chances to step up, and that, again, go back to how versatile the Oilers lineup is and how guys can step in and provide offense if they need it, or provide energy if they need it. And so it's just going to be opportunities for other guys to step in, and everybody's been a part of this run. Everybody's energized and ready to do whatever they need to do. And so it's going to give someone else a chance. Look at Corey Perry. He ends up on the top power play unit and puts puck in the back of the net. So you just never know. But that's the great thing about this team, is they're ready to step up when they need to. Look at the decor without Ekholm, right? Like, everybody thought that they were dead, and they just couldn't do it without Ekholm. I mean, they've been pretty incredible. And if they get Ekholm back, look out.
I say it's just simply the next man up mentality. That's the beauty of this team and the depth we've been talking about for a long time now. Could it be Jeff Skinner's moment back in the sun for the Edmonton Oilers? Remember, Connor Brown, he didn't play tonight as well, still banged up with, Bobby never said it's concussion. I'm going to put 2 and 2 together and assume that is a concussion. Matthias Ekholm, still banged up. But then there was another one as well in this game. Evander Kane even got banged up at the end of the second period. He didn't play the final 5 minutes of that one. I still don't fully know what the injury was. I saw at one point TD Fours was working on his neck and he was moving it around. Then to start the third period, Evander Kane isn't on the bench now. He then joins the bench and he continues to play the rest of that third period. So everyone could kind of take a big sigh of relief, if you will. But another one, a little touch and go moment there. What have you thought of Evander Kane for a guy who's, once again, maybe no points? He had one. McDavid put it on a platter for him on a 3-on-2 going down the ice. Evander Kane still working his way back from. He's missed the entire regular season with injury. I got a little concerned seeing him be banged up, because we know Kaner's game. It's all physical all the time. He's heavy on the forecheck. What'd you think of Evander Kane in that? I guess we talked about it, his trio, his line.
Yeah, he's always going to contribute, right? That's why he's a great playoff performer, because it doesn't matter. He can contribute in every way, and he is always going to bring that physicality. He's always going to bring that peskiness, that annoying side of it. But when you can bring that with his high skill level and his ability to score and his ability to go to the net and get in the greasy areas and score, that's what he brings. And I think the biggest thing with him is you go back to the LA series, and when he came back into the lineup, it just balanced everything out for the Oilers. And it wasn't just his single presence, but him just bringing him into the lineup. It allows us to see all these different line combinations and have all these different threats, first line, second line. Whereas those first couple games, they were trying to go supernova, they were trying to do this and that. They tried to split up the lines, and it was kind of like 4 lines were like, and then then they tried to go supernova, and then the other lines were doing it, and then it was like all of a sudden they entered Kane into the lineup, and it was like everything was balanced. Everything made sense, which not a lot of things that Evander Kane has said to me make any sense in my time playing with him, but he made sense in this moment going into the Oilers lineup. So he's certainly been awesome for them, and this is probably gonna be the only time I'm cheering for Evander as long as he's on Edmonton. But I'm happy to see him doing well.
Hey, he makes sense on the ice. Okay, I'll give him that one there as well.
I'll give him that too.
One question that I had for you, and I kind of asked you before we went live. So, shocker, never played goalie in the NHL. I know, I look like it and all that. Dubes has talked a lot at the bar tonight. It gets discussed all the time. It's something that we as viewers, we don't know what we're talking about, especially when it comes to goalies. So my question to you, is Stuart Skinner good at handling the puck? Is Stuart Skinner bad? I don't think he's bad, but I don't know, because there's a lot of moments where he's out of the net, he's playing it. We talked about it before. I think there's just a little bit of Mike Smith PTSD in a bunch of Oilers fans. You played the position. Tell me what you think about the way Stuart Skinner handles the puck.
I think you guys just might have some PTSD. I think he's good at handling the puck. He is. He's confident. You need to be confident to be able to handle the puck. I don't feel uncomfortable with him handling the puck. I think he's good at it. He's strong. He's got a good shot. I don't see him out there trying to make passes that aren't there. That was the thing with Smitty. Smitty was so good at handling the puck that he never liked to make the easy play. Like, he was so good at it. He's like, nah, that one's too easy. I'm going to do a little spin around my backhand sauce or something like that. So that was kind of Smitty's downfall a little bit, was that he was so good at it that it was almost boring for him. I look at Skinner. I think he's confident. He makes the right play. He's not afraid to stay in his net if he needs to. He's not silly coming out sometimes. He doesn't chase every puck around the boards and try to knock it down and get himself in trouble. So I know it was the other game. I think it was game 2 that he fell behind the net. He kind of fumbled one and fell behind the net. But I think you guys got a little PTSD. I got no issues with Skinner handling the puck.
There you go. I also like Putter just said, we have general PTSD as well. Just being an Oilers fan. Dude, but you know that. Come on now. Sergeant Battle says he saw Mike Smith in the stands and had to impress. Also, this one's for the chat. We all love Smitty. We all love Mike Smith. We need to get Doobie on that screen and in that building, and he needs to feel the cheer, the love from the fans. Because, Doobie, you said you don't read the comments, you don't read the chat. You also had a great line as well. We'd love to get you in that building, but I want you in this building as well, Greta Barrier.
If I get there, it'll be both.
Hey, there we go. Devon Dubnyk, we love you. You are the absolute best. I saw so many people in the chat right now just went, Doobie is by far the best analyst, the best guest that we have here at Oilers Nation. And we got a couple of them as well. Tomorrow, Pat Maroon is about to be a weekly guest on Oilers Nation every day as well. Dubes, we love you. We appreciate you. And on Ben Stelter's birthday, come on. I told you McDavid wasn't going to let the boys down. A puck line W for Bortzi's bankroll as well. Also, Alberta says, or where was it? Doobie Donaire cannon. If they let Doobie shoot the Donairs out of the cannon, that would be insane. Doobie, you lived in Edmonton forever. Are you a Donaire guy?
I love Donaire. Yes, of course.
That's my guy. Zach is the biggest Donaire guy.
Oh, yeah.
In the city.
That might have been the first time I ever had it in Edmonton, but
my first true Donaire was here in Edmonton as well. But I know all the spots. I know where to go. I know what kind of Donairs they got. If you want a saucy one, if you want one that doesn't have sauce on it.
I'm a big sauce guy, but yes, that's post-bar food all day.
Oh, yeah. It's deadly. We got like 3 or 4 shops within a block radius of this place.
Zach and I were talking during the game tonight, and I said, I feel like I got to get a Donaire sponsor on Oilers Nation After Dark, because post-game, beers, Donairs, it all goes together. I agree. Also, extra sauce. Dude, the messier the better when you're that drunk at the end of the night. Dubes, we love you. We appreciate you. Have a good sleep. Also, 10:43 Central Time. It's an early one for you.
I don't even know what to do with myself right now. There's so much time for activities.
Nice. Excellent reference. Don't worry. You can watch the rest of Oilers Nation After Dark. Dubes, we love you. And tomorrow, brand new episode of Ask Doobie dropping 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on the Oilers Nation YouTube. It's going to be a good one. I've watched them all, Dubes. You do great. Reese also does a great job on the editing. What can you say about Reese?
Reese is unreal. We rip through these things. It's almost too fast at the end of it. It's like, oh, that was quick. Okay, bye. See you next week. No, he's so great. We got a good thing going, and yeah, we power through them. And even I don't know. I hope I'm doing a good job. I feel like Reese would make me feel like I was doing a good job, even if I wasn't, because he's so positive. He's got great energy. So I'm gonna hope that he's being honest, telling me I'm doing a good job. But it's been a lot of fun working with him.
Hey, Reese, absolute beauty. So is Devon Dubnyk. Dubs, have a good one tonight. Peace out.
Night, boys.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.